Yo YouTube, what's up? I'm Tim, he's AC, and this is a Cash Kelly and AC Sports Report. And MLB Free Agency is about to get going. The biggest name on there, maybe not the biggest chip out there, but the biggest name is none other than Derek Jeter, the captain of the New York Yankees. And AC, if you're given the chance to sign this guy, you're any team, how much would you give him a year?
He's got to be obviously one of the top shortstops in the game. I mean, he's a captain. He's proven himself. I'd put him up there 18, maybe 15 mil a year.
Yeah, I mean, that seems about right. And a lot of people are gawking at that based off his numbers last year. But, I mean, I just don't see how you can't give him that money. I know he's old, and I know statistically he is not worth it. But in the clubhouse, he's worth it. He's proven he can be clutch over the years. And the fact is that Derek Jeter is the captain of the New York Yankees, the face of the sport, and there's no way they can let him go. There really isn't. I mean, $15 million is not a lot to pay for this guy. He's going to make all the money back in jersey sales and revenue, and he puts people in the stands. The Yankees will lose fans if Derek Jeter were to leave the New York Yankees. That's the bottom line there.
Oh, absolutely. You can't just say that 15 mil for his skill. You got to take into account the locker room presence and the leadership that he brings to most likely the Yankees, he will return. But to any team, the locker room presence and the leadership that he brings is really unparalleled by at least any other shortstop in the game today.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. The other thing is, there's not too many great shortstops lying around. I mean, I know at this point Derek Jeter isn't a great shortstop probably anymore. He's still a nice fielder. There's no one else who has a more famous play in baseball than Derek Jeter, with that in the hole, jump up with one leg higher than the other, throw to first, get the runner out type thing. I mean, Derek Jeter is the face of baseball. He's one of the most popular athletes in sports. If you don't know who Derek Jeter is, I mean, you've got to be on crack, because I don't know where you could have possibly lived over the past 15 years that you don't know who Derek Jeter is. It's amazing to me, people that don't know who Derek Jeter is, but that's another story. Now, say the Yankees lose Derek Jeter. How much of an impact is that on that team? How many wins do you take away?
I don't know if you take away a huge amount of wins. Obviously, you got to take away some, maybe 10 or 15, I'm going to say, because of the leadership that he brings. I mean, he's not a hugely skilled player anymore. He is getting older, but his presence is still there, and I think you got to take away at least 10 or 15 wins from that club, and then even add whatever club he would go to. Add 10 or 15 wins to whatever club he would go to.
10 or 15 wins from that club would put them out of the playoffs. I don't know if I'd go that high. I'd go 3, 4, 5 wins, though. And 3 or 4, 5 wins in that division. I mean, let's look at this. The Orioles are vastly improved. They're not going to challenge next year. The Blue Jays have a great farm system coming up. They are going to be good in a few years. And it's not just this year, next year we're talking about. The Red Sox are going to be there next year. They're not going to have all these injuries the way they did this year. They have the potential to go out and get a Jason Worth, a Carl Crawford, one of those types. They have great pitching. The Tampa Bay Rays, for as many people as they're going to lose, they still have a chance to go get other people. So, I mean, the Rays are going to be there too. So, the Yankees lose 4 or 5 wins. They probably lose their chance in that division.
Yeah, you look at if Derek Jeter would actually leave the franchise, and who would they replace him with? I mean, that depends on the amount of wins that they're going to lose would be impacted on who they're going to replace him with.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Jeter is that franchise, and fans got pissed and decided not to buy tickets when guys like Johnny Damon and Hideki Matsui left. Can you imagine what would happen if Derek Jeter leaves? I mean, and I know no one's thinking of this, but if Derek Jeter leaves, who's he going to go to in your mind? Look at who's out there that needs a shortstop, because there's a few really ironic teams in my mind, but who do you have first?
I really don't know. I mean, I just can't picture in my mind him actually leaving that franchise. But if by some chance he does, I have no idea who he would go to.
Yeah, I mean, that would be just strange to see him in another uniform. Basically, our entire lives, Derek Jeter, give a few years there, but basically our entire lives, Derek Jeter has been on the New York Yankees in baseball. He's been the face of baseball. But the teams I'm looking at, the Detroit Tigers, I know they just signed Johnny Peralta to an extension, but do you really think they'd pass up Derek Jeter for Johnny Peralta? Is that likely? Probably not. The Boston Red Sox. I know they have Marco Scutaro, but do you really think they'd keep Marco Scutaro over Derek Jeter? You know how much they got pissed when the Yankees stole Damon from them? Well, here would be some pretty sweet revenge for that and for them stealing A-Rod from him. The final team, the New York Mets. Can you imagine all the Yankees fans that would leave to go be Mets fans if Derek Jeter went to the Yankees? I mean, the Yankees cannot lose this guy. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Mets and the Red Sox would be two really, really ironic teams if he would leave. I don't see him leaving. I'm going to say that again. But by some off chance that he does, those are two teams that are extremely ironic, and that would be a tough spot if you're a Yankees fan, and if you're a big Derek Jeter fan for that matter.
I can tell you one thing: if George Steinbrenner was still alive, Derek Jeter would have been locked up already. Being that George Steinbrenner died during this season, Hal Steinbrenner comes in. He's more of a businessman. He's in a family that's rich. He's always been in that. I have no idea what baseball IQ him and Hank Steinbrenner actually have, besides the fact that they've been sitting in New York Yankees games their entire life. I really don't know. And when he was on the other day saying we have to make business decisions and we have to do what's best for the club and this could get ugly, I just thought it was silly because what's best for this club is Derek Jeter. If you re-sign Derek Jeter, it doesn't get ugly, and business-wise, you make all your money off Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez and a few other guys. So it really makes no sense what he said the other day.
No, it absolutely doesn't. I mean, he, like you said, like we've been saying this whole video, he's the face of the franchise. He is the New York Yankees, and what's best for the club would be to have signed him already and not even have the discussion that we're having right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even believe the Yankees are about. Free agency begins November 7th. Derek Jeter will be a free agent. There's not going to be a deal done the next day or two. Derek Jeter will hit free agency for the first time in his career, and you know what? You better believe that he's going to be listening to other offers. And, you know, here's the bottom line. He's going to piss the Yankees off a little bit. He'll be a Yankee, don't worry. All you Yankees fans, Derek Jeter will be a Yankee. I have a ton of respect for Derek Jeter. I got to give it up to him. He is really one of the best acts in sports, one of the best guys in sports, one of the best leaders in sports. I mean, Derek Jeter is the Yankees, as you've said, AC, and he won't leave. I see him signing a 3 or 4 year deal worth $17 million a season, around that area. That's about what I've heard from everyone out of the New York media, out of ESPN, out of Fox Sports, everyone. I think a lot have said 15. I think he will push for 17. And you really think Derek Jeter won't get what he wants? I mean, they paid A-Rod $27.5, which is a worse deal than this. Derek Jeter will get that money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't say that he's not going to get that money. He's absolutely going to get that money. He could push for $20 million, in my opinion, if he really wanted to.
I think he could push for that, but I think the issue might become for him that no one else. There's not going to be another team that would be willing to give that much money. I think. Maybe not the Mets, but for sure the Red Sox would be willing to give that much money to anyone. It's Derek Jeter we're talking about here. If they could get him away from the Yankees, they'd pay him 16, 17. I think once you get past the 17, you're getting into the area where teams say, yeah, you know, you're good, you'd be a huge draw, but at this point in your career, are you worth it? I think Derek Jeter's worth every cent of it because he brings it in the clubhouse. You know, he's still a good player. Let's not take that away from him. Derek Jeter's still going to bat. I mean, he was never someone that hit 40 home runs. He's still going to bat he's going to have better numbers than last year. Let's just go with that. I don't need to give you his numbers for next year. He's going to have a better season than this season. And I think Derek Jeter comes back next year, a paid man, and ready to do big things for the Yankees. I'm Tim. He's AC. This is a Cash Killing AC Sports Report. We'll see you later.